Overhuman, Cosmic Trial, Volume 1. In a fractured universe ruled by divine power, an ancient force reawakens. On Earth, in the untouched depths of Japan's Aokigahara jungle, a young boy named Isami trains under the stern but kind Budōu Sensei, guardian of the lost martial art Raigekiha, a discipline that channels lightning through ki. Isami's dream is to master this technique to honor his late father, but his recklessness always disrupts the harmony Raigekiha demands. Prologue: Synergy. Across the ravaged plains of a forgotten world, the Warden delivers judgment. Cloaked in cosmic armor, he towers over defeated warriors with his blade pulsating with cosmic energy. A ripple echoes through the galaxy. A beacon awakens on a planet called Earth. Chapter 1: Raigekiha. In the heart of the Aokigahara jungle in Japan untouched by time, a humble dojo rests. Here, 11-year-old Isami trains tirelessly under Budōu Sensei. Their isolation isn't random. It protects the sacred art of Raigekiha, a technique allowing a warrior to channel lightning through ki. Isami, an orphan raised by Budōu Sensei, is passionate but reckless. His desire to master Raigekiha stems from a promise to his late father, a war refugee who once whispered of divine warriors. Despite countless attempts, Isami's body fails to harmonize with the power of the Raigekiha through mind, body, and spirit. Budōu Sensei warns that Raigekiha, without balance, can shatter the soul. Frustrated and desperate, Isami discovers a sealed chest buried under the dojo's foundation. Inside, a wrapped-up mystic gem pulsating with cosmic light. When touched, Isami's body becomes translucent. His ki flares in strange patterns, and somewhere across the stars, the Warden now ventures to the planet Earth. Chapter 2: The Warden Descends. The sky tore open above the Aokigahara jungle, spiraling into a vortex of violent light as the Warden descended, an arbiter of fate sworn to seek out anomalies and banish them to the other world. Drawn by the pulsing call of the mystic gem, he arrived without warning, his judgment swift and merciless. Hiryu, in a single flash of cosmic steel, he cleaved the dojo in half, fire and ruin swallowing it in his wake. Yet in that crucial instant, Isami's eyes surged with the same cosmic force from his earlier encounter with the mystic gem, allowing him to perceive the unseeable, to freeze time in his mind. He grasped Budōu Sensei and hurled him to the far side of the dojo, narrowly evading annihilation as the structure crumbled in fire and smoke behind them. Protected beneath the falling beams and flame, they survived shaken, but intact by the power that now awakened inside Isami. Still dazed, the pair staggered to their feet amidst the smoking ruins, the air trembling with residual energy. Budōu Sensei demanded answers, but before Isami could finish explaining the vision that saved them, Budōu Sensei in truth didn't have time to dissect what had happened, as the real concern was in awaits. True battle then erupted as lightning reversed its path, surging and ripping through the jungle canopy. In a clash of titans, Budōu Sensei launched into the air and met the Warden mid-strike, releasing a devastating thunder-infused blow that hurled him into the forest's depths. Without pause, he summoned his most favored weapon, Timber Wolf, a creature of lightning forged from his very ki. As he raised his hand, energy crackled wildly, forming the spectral beast that lunged with fury. Its explosive impact shattered trees and sent shockwaves across the jungle, signaling the beginning of a war that would scar the earth itself. Chapter 3: Cosmic Fury. A fierce and explosive battle ignites between Budōu Sensei and the Warden, shaking the jungle to its roots. After surviving a thunderous lightning strike, Timber Wolf, the Warden rises unfazed and emotionless. With a single gesture, he summons his sword and unleashes a storm of cosmic fury slashes that rip through the landscape. Budōu Sensei, body surging with lightning, blazes through the chaos, dodging faster than the eye can follow. He closes the gap and launches a flurry of electrified martial strikes, each blow cracking like thunder. The Warden, with terrifying calm, blocks each one using only his right hand and blade. Their clash echoes like titans. Mid-battle, Budōu Sensei flashes back to their first encounter when he had allies, when the mystic gem was left behind. He had once believed the mystic gem could restore what was lost, but Isami's tampering has reawakened its power unexpectedly, and with it, the Warden. The jungle becomes a war zone, torn apart by each clash. Budōu Sensei knows his time is limited and must stall, not fall. Sensing resistance, the Warden uses only just 5% more of his power, delivering a devastating slash that blasts Budōu Sensei across the field, shrouding the area in smoke and destruction. Wounded and exhausted, Budōu Sensei keeps fighting while the Warden remains nearly untouched. Meanwhile, Isami races toward the battlefield, unaware of the danger. Suddenly, the Warden targets him, launching a cosmic slash meant to annihilate. Budōu Sensei, filled with dread, dashes to intercept, but the blast lands first. A violent explosion erupts where Isami once stood, and Budōu Sensei's voice rips through the air with a cry of anguish, fury, and fear for Isami. Chapter 4. The Sealing Settlement. With Budōu Sensei shocked from seeing the sheer sight of his student destroyed in an instant, the remaining dust uncovered and Isami stood confused, Budōu Sensei was also confused, and mostly the Warden was confused. To the Warden it was clear that his true target had been revealed. Whilst in the air, he screwed his eyes and unleashed a barrage of cosmic slashes aimed towards Isami. With all eyes on the unprecedented student, with clear vision both Budōu Sensei and the Warden lay sight to Isami, consistently dodging each slash with ease, as if he had slowed down time itself. Although the reality is that Isami now has the power to see the events of all upcoming danger to what is precious to him. The Warden slightly growls in frustration. It is as if he was being mocked by this mere Earth child. The Warden then grips his blade and unleashes a devastating attack called Hail's Fury that blackens the sky and inverts senses of living beings. With knowing what was to come, Budōu Sensei dashes towards the Warden with his remaining strength, using all his might. He deflects the attack by attempting to use his thunder sealing technique, a skill that endorses lightning to be a consistently moving isolation unit. Budōu Sensei chose priority in mastering this technique instead of following his destined path to be an omniscient master of the Raigekiha. All for this one moment. He knew after seeing Isami immaculately go unscathed against the Warden's power, that there was now hope to restore balance. Isami will lead the future in a direction of peace, and for that to happen this foe must be banished, even if it is temporarily. With Budōu Sensei at lightning speed, he warped in front of the Warden. He palmed his blade with both hands and summoned Kiyoshi's thunder. Then, sealing his blade in lighting, unseeable and untraceable. Chapter 5. The Cosmic Trial Eye. As the smoke of battle settles over the jungle ruins, the Warden, attempting to summon his weapon once more, extends his hand, but for the first time across countless worlds, nothing answers. His blade, a symbol of divine judgment, refuses his call. A silence heavier than any storm fills the air. This planet, he realizes, defies order. Its mortals, though fragile, resist the laws that govern the stars. Budōu Sensei, battered but unbroken, and Isami, his body still glowing with the energy of the mystic gem, stand as living proof. The Warden's expression darkened, but not in anger, but with interest. He lowers his arm, light spiraling from his palm to form two glowing cosmic symbols suspended in the air. These are not weapons, but marks, ancient scripts carrying the authority of the cosmic empire itself. The symbols flared and imprinted itself upon Budōu Sensei and Isami, their skin igniting briefly with cosmic flame before fading into faint glowing sigils. The Warden speaks, his voice echoing through the trembling forest. You have interfered with the flow of the cosmos. For that, you have been chosen. Prepare yourselves, inheritors of the mystic gem. He declares the awakening of the cosmic trial, a universal tournament where chosen beings are summoned from across galaxies to fight for existence itself. Earth has been inducted into the order of divine judgment. The rules are absolute. Within 1 Earth year, both Budōu Sensei and Isami will be summoned to the Forgotten Realm to prove their worth. Refusal or failure will lead to total erasure from mind, memory, and reality. A dark rift opens in the sky, and the stars themselves seem to tremble under the will of the cosmic empire. As the Warden begins to fade, so does light itself, and then silence returns. Budōu Sensei and Isami stand amidst the ashes of their home, their fate now bound to the cosmos. The sigils burn faintly upon their bodies, a reminder of the power they've awakened. Chapter 6. Mystic Gem Origins I. In the silence after the Warden's departure, the ruins of the dojo in the Aokigahara jungle echoed only with the crackle of fading lightning. Isami sat beside Budōu Sensei, trembling in shock and disbelief. The memory of the cosmic sigils burned in his mind as he struggled to comprehend the truth of what had just occurred. Overwhelmed with guilt, he turned to his master, voice breaking, asking why such power existed at all, and why the mystic gem was hidden beneath their dojo. Budōu Sensei closed his eyes, the memories long buried now resurfacing. He began to recount the untold past, the day the mystic gem first came into his hands. Years ago, before the destruction and secrecy of the Raigekiha, Budōu Sensei and Yohan, Isami's father, lived quietly, dedicating their lives to mastering the sacred lightning art and ensuring it never fell into the wrong hands. One storm-stricken night, an injured monk staggered into their village, clutching a wrapped relic. His body was broken, his robes scorched by cosmic fire. Before his final breath, he pressed the object into Budōu Sensei's hands and whispered, "Do not unwrap it. Protect it or share my fate." The villagers never knew what the monk carried. Budōu and Yohan sealed the relic deep within their training chambers, hidden even from their own students. Yet whispers of its existence spread like wildfire. Among those who heard was Ibuki, Budōu Sensei's own son and Yohan's rival in training. Ambitious and consumed by pride, Ibuki believed the relic held the key to ultimate power. One fateful night, under a moonless sky, Ibuki broke into the sealed chamber. The air itself trembled as Yohan, sensing the disturbance, intercepted him within the dojo. Their eyes met, one desperate to protect, the other blinded by desire. "You know what lies within will destroy us all," Yohan warned. "Or elevate us beyond mortality," Ibuki answered, defiantly. Lightning flashed. In an instant, Ibuki moved with impossible speed, the relic in his grasp. But Yohan was faster than any mortal had seen. The temperature plummeted, frost forming along the wooden beams. With a single strike, swift and silent as falling snow, Yohan severed Ibuki's hand. The relic fell, the cloth unraveling midair. A radiant glow filled the room. The mystic gem revealed itself, pulsing with celestial light, alive with a consciousness that gazed back into their souls. Ibuki, wounded and trembling, stared into its depths, entranced by its beauty. The mystic gem responded to his greed, unleashing a beacon that pierced the heavens. Moments later, the sky tore open. Reality itself twisted as the Warden descended upon the village, a being of divine law and cosmic wrath. The ground burned where he walked. The villagers rallied to defend their home, but their strength was nothing before the judgment of a god. Budōu Sensei, Yohan, and the wounded Ibuki, as well as 12 other monks, were the last to stand. The battle was unlike anything known to man, lightning and cosmic fire intertwined, splitting the earth and shattering the stars above. In the end, the village was left in ruin, the mystic gem sealed away once more beneath layers of stone and silence. As Budōu Sensei's story ended, Isami's heart pounded with fear and wonder. He realized the truth. The mystic gem had called to him, just as it had called to Ibuki long ago. Its power was no blessing. It was a trial, one that had now come full circle. And somewhere, far beyond the stars, the Warden's masters, the cosmic empire, had already taken notice. Chapter 7. Intense Training. The air around the Aokigahara jungle was still heavy with cosmic residue. Though a year remained before the cosmic trial, Budōu Sensei knew time would not be enough. The power Isami now carried was something beyond mortal understanding, a fusion of lightning and cosmic energy. Their survival depended on mastering it. Determined, Budōu Sensei urged Isami to begin relentless training. From sunrise to nightfall, their dojo echoed once more with the sound of strikes, thunder, and ki. Between each bout, they spoke of theories of why the mystic gem had chosen Isami and what truly flowed within his veins. Budōu Sensei explained that in the ancient laws of nature, there existed rare phenomena where elements could converge, birthing new forms of energy. When two elements meet within a sentient being, he said, they create something neither divine nor mortal, a new nature entirely. He suspected that Isami's failed attempts at mastering the Raigekiha, combined with exposure to the Warden's cosmic power, had forged this fusion, lightning and cosmic energy, bound through human spirit. Isami's newfound ability allowed him to see beyond the present brief flashes of incoming danger, movements before they occurred. He described it as if time itself slowed, like a massive wave about to crash in slow motion. Budōu Sensei listened intently, realizing the potential of such power, precognition born from cosmic lightning. To test this theory, Budōu Sensei unleashed one of his most formidable techniques, Big Bang Blunder, a storm of roaring tigers condensed lightning ki that shattered the ground as it flew. Isami stood firm, eyes calm and glowing faintly. In the instant before impact, he shifted aside effortlessly, the attack whistling past and detonating behind him in a pillar of light. Budōu Sensei stood in disbelief. "So, it's true," he muttered. "You see the strike before it's born." Encouraged, he commanded Isami to counterattack, to test his offensive control. Isami surged forward, lightning gathering in his palms, his Raigekiha flaring at last. But when his strike connected, it lacked precision, collapsing under its own imbalance. Budōu Sensei deflected it easily and sent him tumbling back across the training ground. "Your defense is divine," Budōu Sensei said sternly, "but your offense requires intent, heart. You must strike not with fear of losing control, but with resolve to protect." Frustration filled Isami's chest, yet beneath it burned determination. The two continued training day after day, mastering stances, focus, and ki synchronization. Between rebuilding their destroyed dojo and testing new techniques, the bond between master and student deepened. As thunder rolled in the distance, Budōu Sensei gazed toward the horizon, sensing the faint pulse of cosmic energy far beyond the stars. The countdown to the cosmic trial had already begun, and soon, the gods themselves would come to witness Earth's awakening warrior. Chapter 8: Lightning Whisper. Weeks passed since the beginning of Isami's training, and the ruins of the dojo slowly began to rise once more from the ashes. Under Budōu Sensei's guidance, each day blended into lightning and sweat, Isami's movements sharper, his ki control steadier, his cosmic vision clearer. Yet amid the sound of strikes and thunder, something else stirred beyond the treeline. Far at the edge of the Aokigahara jungle, beneath a fractured sky, a figure watched from the shadows. His ears twitched at the faint hum in the air, not of wind, but of lightning whispering. It danced around him like a living presence, as if recognizing something long forgotten. His silhouette flickered with traces of electricity, and his eyes gleamed faintly under the moonlight. He listened to the echoes of ki, to the clash of training strikes far away, and then he smiled. The whisper of lightning called his name. Slowly, he rose from the roots where he had waited in silence and began walking toward the rebuilt dojo, each step leaving behind faint scorch marks in the soil. Unaware of the approaching presence, Isami continued his grueling routine. His body had grown lean and precise, his movements guided by instinct rather than thought. Sparks ran through his skin as he pushed his Raigekiha to its limit, each strike illuminating the night with a blinding flash. Budōu Sensei watched, impressed yet uneasy. Then suddenly, his expression hardened. A familiar tremor ran through the ground, subtle yet unmistakable. The air changed, carrying a nostalgic energy that chilled his spine. He felt a signature in the flow of lightning, one he hadn't sensed in years. Impossible, Budōu Sensei whispered, eyes narrowing toward the dark horizon. That aura, it can't be. Isami stopped mid-strike, glancing toward his master. Sensei? What's wrong? Budōu Sensei didn't answer. The thunder in the sky rumbled louder, responding to the presence that approached. The wind turned cold, the leaves trembling under the weight of returning power. From beyond the mist, the faint outline of a man appeared, walking through the storm as lightning curved around him like a living serpent. His pace was calm, his presence terrifyingly familiar. Budōu Sensei fists tightened, heart pounding with both dread and disbelief. After all these years, the whisper wasn't a memory, he murmured. It was a warning. As the figure stepped into view, the clouds split above, revealing his face beneath the stormlight. The Aokigahara jungle trembled. Chapter 9. Banished Disciple. The storm over Aokigahara jungle deepened, the sky flashing with restless lightning. From within that storm stepped the figure Budōu Sensei had feared, Umbu, the lost heir of the Raigekiha bloodline. Son of a bookie and grandson of Budōu Sensei himself, Umbu carried the same sharp gaze and untamed aura as his father before him. Once he trained under Budōu Sensei's own guidance, but his obsession with power and disregard for balance had led to his banishment. Now, after years of silence, he returned, stronger, darker, and cloaked in arrogance. Umbu bowed mockingly before his grandfather, sparks crackling around him. It's been a long time, Sensei, he said, his voice calm but edged with venom. His eyes turned to Isami. You must be the child chosen by the mystic gem. Budōu Sensei's expression hardened. You have no right to stand here, Umbu. You were cast out for a reason. The Raigekiha is not a weapon for greed. Umbu laughed. Greed? No, grandfather. Purpose. The world changes, and those who remain bound by fear are left behind. I have mastered what you could not. He raised his hand, and the air shimmered with soundless energy. The faint hum of distant thunder condensed into a single tone that reverberated across the Aokigahara jungle. The lightning whisper, a forbidden technique converting sound into pure electricity, allowing the user to hear across vast distances, even through storms and dimensions. Through this power, Umbu had learned everything. He knew of the Warden's descent, the reawakening of the mystic gem, and the looming cosmic trial less than a year away. And he knew Isami possessed something extraordinary, power that could bend time and vision. You can sense it too, can't you? Umbu smirked. That cosmic current running through him. He's not ready for what's coming. I am. I'll be the one to enter the tournament, even if I must take your heads as offerings to the cosmic empire myself. Isami stepped forward, disbelief in his eyes. Umbu, this isn't you. We were a family once. Why are you doing this? Because family means nothing when gods walk the stars, Umbu replied coldly. Only power decides who survives. Without another word, lightning surged around him, and in an instant, he vanished. The ground erupted as he reappeared, clashing fists with Budōu Sensei at impossible speed. Their strikes cracked the sky, each impact releasing waves of thunder that tore through the Aokigahara jungle. Isami shielded his eyes as the lightning they were emitting was so bright, yet his awakened vision caught glimpses of every motion, every spark. To him, the fight unfolded like a dance of lightning. To the human eye, it was invisible. Budōu Sensei countered each strike with mastery earned through decades of discipline, while Umbu fought with wild instinct. Lightning collided with lightning, the Raigekiha full fury unleashed between generations. Stop this madness! Isami shouted, his voice drowned by thunder. But Umbu didn't listen. His attacks grew faster, more vicious, each fueled by years of resentment and pride. Budōu Sensei, though aging, stood firm. You've inherited our blood, Umbu, he said between clashes. But not our heart. You chase the storm, while forgetting that lightning only lives for a moment. Umbu's eyes flared with rage. Then let's see whose lightning lasts longer, old man. Their final clash sent a blinding flash across the Aokigahara jungle, splitting the clouds with a sound like worlds colliding. Trees shattered, the ground split, and thunder rolled for miles. When the light faded, both warriors stood apart, smoke rising from their bodies, neither willing to fall. The war of the Raigekiha bloodline had begun anew, and Isami knew this battle was only the beginning. The cosmic trial was drawing closer, and now, even Earth's own warriors had turned against each other. Chapter 10. In Search of Budōu Sensei. The battle between Budōu Sensei and Umbu raged deep into the night, their lightning splitting the heavens as thunder roared across the Aokigahara jungle. Sparks rained like shooting stars, illuminating the forest in blinding flashes. Though Budōu Sensei fought valiantly, he could not ignore the truth his grandson had surpassed him in raw power, yet lost himself entirely to darkness. Both warriors stood bloodied and exhausted, their auras fading. For a moment, silence fell, broken only by the crackle of residual lightning. Budōu Sensei lowered his stance, ready to reason with Umbu, but the young warrior's smirk told a darker story. In a flash faster than sight, Umbu feinted right, then struck left. A bolt of concentrated lightning pierced Budōu Sensei's guard, the impact echoing like a thunderclap. The attack hit with devastating precision, crippling the master and sending him crashing to one knee. "Sensei!" Isami shouted, rushing forward, but he was too late. He had seen it happen in his mind before it occurred, yet his body could not move fast enough to prevent it. The curse of foresight, seeing tragedy before it strikes, powerless to stop it. Budōu Sensei tried to rise, but a second strike from Umbu, swift, deceptive, and merciless, sent him collapsing to the ground. Kneeling beside his fallen master, Isami reached out in despair. Budōu Sensei, barely conscious, placed a trembling hand on his student's shoulder. "Isami, listen to me. Continue your training. The path ahead will test more than your power. It will test your soul." With those words, Budōu Sensei's hand fell limp. Before Isami could react, Umbu appeared beside them, his breathing heavy, his body scarred from the clash. Despite his exhaustion, his grin remained. "Don't mourn him yet," he said darkly. "He still has a role to play in the cosmic trial." Lightning enveloped him, swirling in radiant arcs. In a blinding flash, Umbu vanished into the storm and took Budōu Sensei with him. The Aokigahara jungle fell silent once more, the smell of ozone thick in the air. Isami dropped to his knees, fury and grief burning in his chest. He clenched his fists, eyes blazing with renewed determination. "Sensei, I'll find you. I'll master this power, and I'll bring you back." As the storm faded, a single bolt of lightning struck the earth near him, carving the shape of the cosmic sigil into the ground. The mark shimmered, as if answering his vow. The countdown to the cosmic trial continued.